All right, everyone. This is H.A. Goodman. I'm an author, columnist, and journalist, and we're going to talk about the IG report. And I don't usually do these live streams by myself. I hardly ever, actually. I think this is the first time. And I'm interviewing somebody or having a discussion or being on someone else's channel. But this is my first time doing an actual live stream, and I felt that it was important. I felt that it was important to do this live stream because it vindicates me. It vindicates you. If you've been watching this channel since 2016 and you wonder, oh, how can this Bernie supporter become a Trump supporter? Well, today is one reason. Today is one reason. If you look at today and you say, well, this is normal, this is a good example of democracy, then you're not paying attention. Hillary Clinton deserved to get indicted. She transferred top-secret intelligence from Cypriot, JWICs, and SCIFs onto an unencrypted server. All of this, Christopher Wray's, the FBI director's conference call today regarding top agents said FBI would stop Trump from becoming president. This is the New York Times. So we learned one thing today, certainly, that Peter Strzok said that he wanted to stop Trump. This is right after he says there's an insurance policy. We can't take the risk of Trump becoming president. And so just on a side note, if you can hear me, okay. If you can't hear me, let me know. But this is vindication for you and for me. You can't have an FBI agent, the number 2 counterintelligence officer, saying that they want to stop Trump, and he's talking to his girlfriend or his mistress or his lover, whatever. So he's really telling his true feelings. He doesn't think he's ever going to be exposed. Then you have other text messages between FBI agents and attorneys saying, oh, Trump voters are idiots. They're uneducated fools. All the work we've done in 8 years for the Obama administration. Wait a second. The FBI is supposed to be independent. I thought the President Obama's administration was completely independent. So you not only have FBI agents saying that we're going to stop Trump, you also have Peter Strzok, Lisa Page, and others talking about what they could have done and what they will do regarding Trump-Russia. And they're talking about the election as if they're part of the Democratic National Committee. So that's another, in addition to, I originally loved Bernie Sanders because he fought back. He wanted to bring home soldiers. He wanted to end perpetual wars. That's one of the big things. It wasn't just single payer. He wanted to break up too big to fail banks. He wanted to reinstate Glass-Steagall. You're nowhere closer if you vote Democrat with any of those goals. You're a lot closer to bringing home soldiers, what we saw with peace between North and South Korea. An historic peace deal, and Bill Maher wants a recession, and Robert De Niro tells Trump to go F himself right before. So De Niro has something against peace between North and South Korea. So that's one of the reasons I want to get this clear. There are people who are like, well, how come you're a Trump supporter now? Yeah, Bernie should have fought. He should have fought back. He was cheated. He was cheated. He should have fought. Trump is fighting back. They tried to cheat him. They lost. They were successful in cheating Bernie. There's a lot of overlap, especially in terms of foreign policy, because you do have a peace deal right now. And it's when people say, well, the peace deal, you never thought it was possible. You never even dreamed it was possible. Clinton and WikiLeaks emails. And that's another thing. Democratic Party is suing WikiLeaks. That's, for me, one of the biggest reasons to vote Trump 2020. Anything Democrats want, do the opposite. You'll get a much better movement on the left if you destroy peacefully and politically the Democratic Party. But what we learned today is not just Peter Strzok saying we want to stop Trump. We also learned that Hillary Clinton's server was hacked. We also learned, and this is another ridiculous thing, some people online are saying, well, look what it said. While we did not find that these decisions were the result of political bias on Comey's part, you would have to he would have to have like a lover just like Strzok and Page for them to actually find any bias. The only reason Strzok's in deep trouble is because he let his true feelings out. Comey hated Trump to begin with and always covered up. 18 classified emails were found on Anthony Weiner's computer. God forbid, imagine if I did now in this live stream with 600 people watching, what Anthony Weiner was doing on his laptop, while 18 classified emails were transferred from Uma Abedin onto his laptop. So, and they knew about it in September, and President Obama knew, and he knew about the server as well. But the thing is, they found out that they already knew about Anthony Weiner's laptop. There were more people outside the U.S. government that had classified information than Clinton's classified information than inside the U.S. government. And the IG report doesn't talk about, and eventually we'll get there, once McCabe is indicted, once Strzok is indicted or fired. Because McCabe, there's already a criminal referral. And there's going to be investigations for how many now? IG refers 5 employees for investigation as more anti-Trump messages revealed. You don't think Trump knows all of this? You don't think Trump is just basically on the sidelines watching as he's signing peace with North Korea and a peace deal with North Korea? So the thing is, right now, you have a situation where Jeff Sessions is slowly waiting for political momentum. The political momentum that will force the IG, that will force Christopher Wray, and especially will force Jeff Sessions to either initiate a special counsel, one that actually addresses criminal activity. Mueller's special counsel is indicting people for jaywalking. They have nothing to do with Russian hacking. There was no Russian hacking. It was a leak, according to brilliant journalist Elizabeth Voss at Disobedient Media, 2 very brilliant cybersecurity analysts, the forensicator Adam Carter, William Binney, Ray McGovern, 2 legends in the intelligence community in the NSA and CIA. By the way, if you enjoy this live stream, go ahead, feel free to support H.A. Goodman on Patreon and also via the live stream as well. I also have a Second Amendment channel, and I was actually earlier today at the range, and so you will get some really great footage of me and my AK-47 semi-auto. Really awesome instructor at Oak Tree Rifle Range right outside Los Angeles. His name is Savage. He's awesome. And there were really great guys there, Darren and Mike, and they were great. So I have a really cool segment of me just shooting my AK-47. But that's from my HA Second Amendment channel. That's below in the description. But let's just go ahead and read a couple of. So this is the New York Times. Top agent said FBI would stop Trump from becoming president. How is this not political bias on Comey's part? Does he not know what his own employees are doing or what people under him are doing? This is the New York Times. This is the New York Times. Top agent said FBI would stop Trump from becoming president. New texts released Thursday by the Justice Department Inspector General show that FBI agent overseeing the investigation into President Trump's campaign pledged to stop Mr. Trump from becoming president. If anybody said they pledged to stop Clinton from becoming president, could you imagine the uproar? Let's continue reading. She's blaming everybody. If she could blame like the Loch Ness Monster and Halley's Comet, she would. Could you imagine this? Democrats are hilarious. They're like, oh, well, sexism and, Bernie bros. And could you imagine if an FBI agent say, we're going to stop Clinton from becoming president? They would be nonstop. Vox would write a million articles. The New York Times, everybody, they would say, oh my God, this is insane. Top agent said, okay, so then this is the text message from Lisa Page. Trump's not ever going to become president, right? She's really worried. She's like, Trump's not going to become president, right? Right, honey? And asked top FBI lawyer Lisa Page in one text, right? Peter Strzok, the agent overseeing the investigation. You can just add like honey, sweetheart, whatever. Peter Strzok, the agent overseeing the FBI investigation into links between Mr. Trump's campaign and Russia. All those wonderful links that James Clapper said don't exist. James Clapper to Chuck Todd. There was no evidence that we put in the report. It's only $35 billion that we spend in terms of funding. But, you know, we're moderately to highly confident, but we didn't put any evidence. There's no evidence, Chuck Todd. If you ask me again, Chuck, if you ask me again, I'm going to take the stapler and bang you over the head. Do not ask me again. There's no evidence. No, he won't. We'll stop it. So what does that even mean? What does that even mean? No, we won't. No, he won't. We'll stop it. How are they going to stop? How are they going to stop? How are they going to stop this? How are they going to stop Trump from becoming president? By doing what? And of course, we found out exactly what they did. But what I'm asking is, there's 944 people watching this, and I thank you. And let's get this to like 2,000, because there's not usually, I don't usually do a live stream. But this vindicates you and it vindicates me. How many times have you heard, there's nothing there, there's no there. Oh, but Russia, yes. Well, where's the evidence? There's a mountain of evidence here. But how did Peter Strzok, why did Peter Strzok, and in the live stream, just give me your thoughts. Try to answer this question if you can for me. Peter Strzok, the number 2 counterintelligence officer at the FBI, is supposed to protect this country from foreign intelligence agencies, hence the name counterintelligence. He's supposed to ensure that Clinton's server isn't hacked, and I'll get to the foreign actors accessing her server. We found out 5 employees referred for investigation, 5. McCabe is already in hot water. There's already a criminal referral. But how is Strzok, the number 2, who's not only in charge of Clinton emails, but also eventually Trump Russia? And I'm not going to use profanity during this live stream because I don't want to break with YouTube policies. So there's no profanity alerts. But how in the did Peter Strzok expect to stop Trump from becoming president? Don't we have the Electoral College? Don't we have you and I voting? See, I used to be a Bernie supporter. I love Bernie Sanders as a human being. As a human being, he's a wonderful human being. But he doesn't fight. He doesn't fight back. He gets cheated. He got kicked in the face. And his movement then afterwards was completely obliterated by the people who, claim to be, transforming the system, but in reality funnel everything back to the Democratic Party. People like Tom Perez and Debbie Wasserman Schultz, and especially Hillary Clinton, know this. So they don't care. They can cheat. They don't care because he won't fight back. I love him as a human being. He should have fought back. What Trump is doing is fighting back and winning. And what he did in terms of the intelligence community, big time. In terms of peace between North and South Korea, that's a huge, huge, epic, grandiose thing that nobody's giving him credit for. But how did Peter Strzok, how did he think he was going to stop Trump? Well, we know, and the IG report touches upon this, but doesn't really address it at all. We know that Hillary Clinton was too stupid to realize what the C meant. She thought the C meant catnip or casserole. C means confidential. Peter Strzok, who will get fired, by the way, today, he's one of the people. He's one of the 5 who are going to be investigated and fired from the FBI. IG refers 5 employees for investigation as more anti-Trump messages revealed. This is a Fox article. I'll just read you this. The Justice Department Inspector General has referred 5 employees for investigation in connection with politically charged texts, revealing in its report on Hillary Clinton email case that more Bureau officials than previously thought were exchanging anti-Trump text messages. They're just like, well, we just found a couple more. No, how about the whole bureau was? How about everybody in management? Maybe agents who were risking their lives didn't, but most of the people in management presiding over, and that's another thing with the Mueller probe. Trump should fire Mueller tomorrow. Butthurt Top Secret Emails, my book, it's in the description. It's on Amazon. Former Trump advisor has already read that. I already know people in Congress have read that. Okay? The issue here is how Clinton transferred top secret intelligence and special access program intelligence. If you're watching this live stream, then please answer that question also. It's kind of like a fun thing. How did she actually do it? That is the Achilles heel. That is everything you need to know. How she transferred the top secret and special access program intelligence is something the IG report did not want to even address. But it's all superfluous to the central question. Peter Strzok, possibly Lisa Page, who knows, but Peter Strzok, James Comey, Andrew McCabe, Bill Priestap, Peter Strzok's boss, James Clapper, the ODNI chief, definitely Brennan knows of the CIA, and James Clapper, Brennan, Comey. So all of them know. They know how she transferred the information. That is the biggest deal. That's the biggest issue. So when there's anti-Trump text messages where they say they're going to stop Trump, there's 5 already agents, including Strzok, who are either going to get fired or investigated. And you have a situation where not only, and that's why it's kind of funny also, while we did not find that these decisions were the result of political bias, doesn't say that they were the right decisions, but it's kind of hilarious. So when people are like, you're wrong, AJ. Ooh, you're wrong because the IG report said it's not political bias. No, that doesn't mean, number one, it doesn't mean that they're right. And number two, it goes on to say, we nevertheless concluded that departing so clearly and dramatically from FBI and department norms. That's like saying, you know, I don't hate your guts. I don't hate your guts, but I'm going to take this hammer and bash you over the head until you're unconscious. But I don't hate you. I don't hate you at all. That's not a matter of bias. I'll take that hammer. I'll hurt you bad. So it's they always, what they're doing is they're hiding behind bureaucracy, and I always said that they would. So we did not find that these decisions were the result of political bias on Comey's part. That's all Hillary bots read. We nevertheless concluded, and then parentheses, that it was pretty much political bias, but we nevertheless concluded that by departing so clearly and dramatically from FBI and department norms and decisions negatively impacting the perception of the FBI, the decisions negatively impacting the perception of the FBI and the department as fair administration of justice. So the decisions negatively impacted the perception of the FBI and the department as fair administrators of justice. Notice how the FBI is not, Horowitz doesn't say the FBI wasn't fair. It's the perception that they weren't fair. So this is a public relations release. What what is Trump going to do? What's Horowitz going to do? What's Sessions going to do? They're going to throw the IG. You can't throw the American intelligence community completely under the bus and say they're all a bunch of liars. Trump can go ahead and declassify anything he wants right now and tweet it out. That would be fantastic. That's the toss-up whether he might, which is fantastic. He can just go ahead, declassify any other piece of information about Strzok. Oh, I don't know. Maybe what Strzok knew regarding how she set up the server and how she transferred top secret and special access program intelligence. If you get anything from this live stream, and if you get anything from anything I've ever said, all my videos or my writing or whatever, it is about special access program intelligence. And we already know that she transferred the information illegally. But all Strzok is worried about is, don't worry, honey, No, no, my love. No, he won't. We'll stop it. This is Paige. Trump's not ever going to become president, right? A top FBI lawyer. He won't become president, right? And then Peter Strzok. No, no, sweetie. Sweetie poopy. No, he won't. We'll stop it. Thanks. Thanks for letting the lowly peons called the American people have a say. The report shows the FBI became infected with politics and continually disregarded rules and procedures to the detriment of Donald Trump and benefit of Hillary Clinton. Obviously. The implications in some of these text messages, Mr. Horowitz wrote, "What are the implications, Mr. Horowitz? What are the implications? What could the implications be? Well, why don't we find out?" Was that Strzok might be willing to take official action to impact the presidential election's electoral prospects. I love how Strzok might be willing. So interviewing Hillary Clinton during brunch and tea, where Clinton's like, "I have 5 minutes. Get the hell out. Get the heck out after 5 minutes." And he's like, "Okay, Madam Secretary, I'm sorry. What does the C mean? Because you had information marked classified. What does the C mean?" It means carnival. Now get out. She didn't know what the C meant, yet she was the most qualified person on the planet. She was lying to the FBI. Remember when they're going to flip and sing and Papadopoulos and Gates and Manafort? Nobody's flipping. Nobody's singing. They're not doing anything. If he could indict people on jaywalking, he would. But once McCabe is indicted, there's already a criminal referral. There are 5 people now who are going to be investigated. They might be fired. They might also be indicted. Who knows? But now the issue is get these people to Congress because the wheels of this bureaucratic justice are so slow, but they're grinding nevertheless. Get them to Congress. Why did you write the text? Get Strzok to Congress. Under oath. He pleads the 5th, then go ahead and subpoena records, make him testify in a criminal grand jury, put him on, indict him for criminal acts. You cannot go ahead and in the course of an investigation as any law enforcement official and either fabricate evidence or utilize bias to influence the outcome of any investigation. If you do so, it's not just protocol, it's criminal. The implication in some of these texts was that Strzok might be willing. Horowitz is covering Rosenstein and Sessions' backside or making sure that Loretta Lynch, and then we have the issue of Loretta Lynch and Bill Clinton on the plane, was that Strzok might be willing to take official action to impact presidential candidates' electoral prospects. In normal terms, wanted to go ahead and do everything and anything possible to ensure Trump didn't win. So how is this not political bias? How is this not the height of political bias? Of course it's the height of political bias. Of course it is. Of course it is. That is exactly what bias is. A hatred or a deep desire to have a political outcome your way. And then one ridiculous rebuttal is, well, everyone who was asked said the Strzok's work was never influenced by political views. Who cares what people thought? These are the same people who texted they hated Trump. It wasn't just Peter Strzok and Lisa Page. It was everybody there. McCabe took money from Terry McAuliffe. The decision makers at the FBI, the decision makers went ahead and did everything possible to harm Trump. That's more than just bias. That's criminal behavior. Of course, they want Strzok out, and Christopher Wray is speaking either now as I'm speaking or he'll speak very soon. let's see. A really, really great. Oh, this is the Associated Press. Hilarious. Nothing in this report impugns the integrity of the FBI as a whole, meaning some things in this report really expose certain FBI agents. So Director Wray of the FBI is saying, well, don't worry, everything's fine. The report as a whole doesn't hurt the. So this is breaking 27 minutes ago. Nothing in this report impugns the integrity of the FBI as a whole. Of course it does. Of course the whole report does. Of course the whole report does. But again, these people know how to write in terms of public relations. In terms of public relations, what they do is they say, well, it does seem one could infer, or we can allude to the fact that there could have been perhaps some correlation between a grandiose constant breach of protocol and hatred of Trump and perhaps even criminal behavior. You're not going to go with the criminal behavior yet. The only person who's been criminally charged or a criminal referral was Andrew McCabe. The reason they go after Andrew McCabe is because his wife received $700,000 to $1.2 million, according to Dick Morris, from Terry McAuliffe, Virginia governor. This is the Virginia governor who told police to stand down at Charlottesville, where one woman, Heather Heyer, lost her life. And most Democrats don't know this woman's name anymore because they only viewed Charlottesville as a political opportunity. Oh, look, it's good versus evil. Okay, let's forget about that. Let's move on to Trump Russia. But McAuliffe, if McAuliffe didn't tell the police to stand down, who did? That's the issue. And then you had a woman who lost her life. And oh, by the way, Trump didn't say both sides were equal. Deranged people who maybe are part of the Democratic Party or Hillary bots or love Hillary Clinton so much that they hear something that's not there. There happen to be conservatives who are on the other side. We're crazy, and then crazy Klan neo-Nazis. Yeah, nobody aligns with them. Nobody. And Trump wasn't saying both sides were good. He said there happened to be conservatives who happened to be good people. He wasn't referring to the crazy neo-Nazis and the Klan members. But to the liberal mind, who doesn't mind Obama destroying Libya, and who doesn't mind Hillary Clinton calling black youth super predators, and who doesn't mind Hillary Clinton calling Mahatma Gandhi a gas station attendant, to the liberal mind, he said both sides are the same. That's all they have on Trump. Because Bill Clinton actually was yelling at Black Lives Matter, saying the crime bill was great. He even used the phrase, the lives that you claim to care about, that you pretend to care about. That's Bill Clinton. Free pass, always. Bill Clinton flying to Arkansas to witness the execution of a black man, Ricky Ray Rector, who was not mentally competent to be executed. That's Bill Clinton. That's the Democratic Party. So tell us again about racism. Oh, moral SJWs who have no problem with Bill or Hillary Clinton. When people say, I hate Hillary. Yeah, right, you voted for her. No, I didn't vote for her. Would you vote for Jill Stein? I don't like Jill Stein either. Well, Bernie's racist. Well, who would you vote for? I'm an anarchist. Okay, whatever. But the left is don't get me started. If you really, really cared about Bernie or the left, or let's say you didn't like Trump's policies, then you would ensure that the IG report led to Clinton indictments or Strzok out or McCabe indicted. You would do everything possible because this is the apparatus that allowed Bernie Sanders to be cheated. If you're too stupid to realize that, I don't know what to say. This is the apparatus. This is the source of Clinton's power, in addition to obviously the Clinton Foundation. The Clinton Foundation is the biggest reason that Clinton has destroyed the Democratic Party and taken over the intelligence community. And she utilized the private server for the Clinton Foundation. I explained about her top secret emails and about her deleted emails. Also, I don't hear people on the left talking about $10 billion stolen from Haiti. Could you imagine if Trump stole $10 billion from Haiti? Trump is not perfect, but the issue here is they tried to stop him from becoming president, and they failed miserably. Then it's like Hillary Clinton, and then see these people, she goes, but my emails, she tweeted this out. It's like, and then one guy's like, single best tweet I've ever heard in my lifetime. 4.7 thousand likes. So you're like, look, your emails, Hillary Clinton transferred top secret intelligence outside the United States government. And then we have one reporter for Politico. IG found on numerous occasions Comey used a personal Gmail account to conduct official FBI business, according to sources briefed. Okay, did he use a private server? Then she writes, but my emails. Well, she didn't write anything. She doesn't do anything. It's always somebody around her. So one of her assistants, maybe Uma, who knows? Maybe Uma's like endlessly working for her. But my emails, 41,515 retweets, 104,000 likes. And all of this can be alleviated by simply asking Clinton or anyone how she transferred the top secret intelligence. Was it a cell phone pick? Did they plug the machine? Did they plug her, what was it, Microsoft Exchange 2010 her server was running on? Did Brian Pagliano, whose emails are missing for 4 years, plug her servers, multiple, into JWICs? Okay? This is the thing. When she talks about but my emails, should I even do this? I'll just go ahead. JWICs, if you go look up, you can just, if you're online right now, type in JWICs. I know this is going to be dry, but this like totally burns that tweet from Hillary Clinton right now. She says, but my emails, look at me, I won. The IG report exposes like an overt cover-up where you have one of the key people presiding over the Clinton email investigation and Trump Russia, who is telling his lover, don't worry, honey boo, I love you. Everything's going to be fine. Trump won't win. We'll stop him. We'll stop evil Trump. Oh, he won. We're so upset. So, and then she's like, but my emails, and they don't care. Even if she did, they'll vote for her. Clinton will get indicted, but they'll vote for her even after she gets indicted. It might not be about the emails, although it should, because it's not emails, it's top secret emails on an unencrypted server. But here, in other words, JWICS is the Department of Defense top secret intranet together with its secret counterpart CIPRNet. JWICS superseded the earlier. Okay, so it's an intranet that the Department of Defense and State Department utilize. You just go here. The Joint Worldwide Intelligence Communication System is the top secret network run by the United States Department of Defense Intelligence Agency and used across the Department of Defense, the Department of State, the Department of Homeland Security, and the Department of Justice to transmit especially sensitive classified information. In other words, JWICS is DoD's top secret intranet together with its secret counterpart CIPRNet. These are very, very highly secure, very sensitive channels within the United States government. When she talks about her emails, she tweeted that out. She knows people are stupid, and she knows people don't care about anything she did, even if she did harm national security. So she knows that people don't care at all. But if you're watching this live stream, you know that something that 99% of Democrats or liberals or whatever, people who love Hillary or people who just hate Trump, they don't care what Hillary did, but they don't know. So in day-to-day usage, the JWICS is used primarily by members of the intelligence community. So it's not just JWICS, because special access program intelligence emanates from other channels aside from just CIPRNet and JWICS. Okay, there's also sensitive compartmented information facilities where top secret information or special access program information could be discussed. She had 22 top secret emails on a server that was unencrypted. So she's like, but my emails, they spun it like I knew they would into like this win for them. But the thing is, they don't have any sense of credibility or shame. So even if Strzok, imagine the tables were turned. Imagine she got indicted Imagine Strzok said, "Don't worry, honey, pumpkin, you know, my love, we'll stop Clinton from becoming president." And then imagine Strzok and Page and all of them texting, "Yes, we did it. We stopped them," instead of lamenting that they didn't stop. We weren't able to stop Trump. It would be just basic logic. Clinton would actually have something to fall back on and say, "Oh, well, you know what? You know, they did hurt me. Here's the reason why I lost, because I was indicted because people were out to get me." Well, in that case also, though, there would be evidence. So you would have bias, but they would spin it, even with the evidence. They would say, yeah, sure, she went ahead and she committed crimes. She transferred that information, but people hated her. And there would be evidence that people would have hated her had they acted with Clinton in the manner they acted with Trump. But she tweeted this out. It's a tweet. Anyway, this is going to give the political will for. This is going to give the political will for. Oh, sorry, I'm actually just looking at the live stream here. This is going to give the political will for Sessions to eventually to go ahead and start a special counsel. You have 19 Republicans who've already asked for a special counsel before the IG report. All Trump has to do right now is fire Mueller. He needs to fire Mueller, because all of this, the Mueller probe was based on Comey's queasy memos. His memos are firsthand recollections. Also, the interesting thing is, it's public record. BuzzFeed is suing the DNC. BuzzFeed's suing the DNC because the Steele dossier has no evidence to corroborate its major claims. The DNC has told BuzzFeed, no, we're not going to go ahead, and we're not going to even explain whether or not we were hacked. They weren't hacked. And we're not going to give you any evidence, because then the Russians everything is Russia. So it's like this sick, like, mental problem. Anything bad happens to them, it's Russia, even though there's no evidence. I want to thank I'm a Carrot for. We have Huber, that's true. We do have Huber. Undercover Huber. You watch Undercover Huber on Twitter? This guy's awesome. He's great. But I'm going to start doing more live feeds. This is really fun. Especially John Huber has to go ahead and act like a special counsel. He must, or there has to be political will to where Sessions starts indicting people. Once people get indicted, and they will eventually, they'll go ahead and they'll actually flip and sing. You have to go ahead. Thank you, James. Thank you so much. Anybody who is kind enough to go ahead and contribute, I really appreciate. But like I said before, and if you watch my channel, you know that, and hit subscribe right now to this channel. We are growing. We're over 116,000. I think we're almost at 100 or over 116,000 right now. And we're on our way to 120,000. But can we get it? I'm trying to think of a Sessions impression, but there are not many people who are going to go ahead and talk about this endlessly. And this is going to be, thank you, Brooke. Let me go ahead and read you. This is really, really important. And I don't know if you know who this gentleman is, but he's a journalist. His name is Paul Sperry. And he's really awesome. I want to read you. He, along with Tom Fitton, is Judicial Watch, and there's some other people too. Breaking. IG found at least 3 instances where McCabe continued to involve himself in Clinton Foundation investigation matters in spite of his November 1st, 2016 recusal from the Clinton Foundation investigation. What happened November 8th, anyone? Anybody? What were you doing on November 8th, 2016? If you're watching this live stream, you probably weren't voting for Madam Cyberhack. But on November 8th, 2016, Hillary Clinton was Let me look at Paul Sperry's site now. Paul Sperry. Where is Mr. Sperry? Okay. 3 instances. The guy recused himself a week before the election. This was a year and a half prior. He took $1 million from over $1 million from political action committees linked to Terry McAuliffe and Democrats. Paul Sperry, breaking. Around the same time, DOJ official Katzig briefed Sally Yates, and Lynch on the Clinton email investigation in 2015. He sought a job with Hillary Clinton's campaign. He sought a job with Hillary Clinton campaign for his son in 2015. Okay, so insubordination, more like coordination, not buying it. At least, as Lisa Page texted, Lynch already knew Comey would exonerate Clinton, just like I don't buy that Comey didn't know about Weiner's laptop. Could you imagine the amount of information, the photos? Okay, I don't want you to dream about this tonight because you won't be able to sleep. But close your eyes right now. I'm going to make you regret you were ever on this live stream. Close your eyes right now. Think of the pictures and photos and videos on Anthony Weiner's laptop. You're already regretting being on this live stream. Now, go ahead and put top secret or classified intelligence on that same laptop. They didn't get into specifics. I always stated they didn't get it. The IG report is a foundation, a springboard, a bureaucratic starting off point for future investigations and future indictments, eventually leading to Hillary Clinton, because it never ends. There are now 30 or 40 major questions more that we didn't have prior to this. Well, what does Strzok mean about stop Trump? Wait, there's more. There are more people texting? Is that the extent? What role did these people have in both the Clinton email and the Trump Russia probe? Also, where were the grand juries? Why was Cheryl Mills allowed and Heather Samuelson allowed to be her counsel when they deleted emails? Hillary Clinton allowed 3 of her lawyers, David Kendall, Cheryl Mills, and Heather Samuelson, to delete emails in 2014. In 2013, she outsourced her emails to Platte River and Dado Inc. These are cloud storage companies. Dado is a cloud storage company. Then in late 2015, Reddit Stone Tier, was it 14 or 15? I think it was 15. Reddit Stone Tier, this guy who worked at Platte River asked Reddit, hey, I need help in deleting emails. Okay, he was deleting Clinton's emails regarding Benghazi, but the funny thing was they were subpoenaed already. And then when asked, Cheryl Mills said, well, we already told him to delete the emails before the subpoena, so it's okay. They make up their own rules. And I wrote a Daily Caller article, a number of them on Clinton emails, but one is Cheryl Mills in one of the WikiLeaks emails says that Obama knew. So Obama knew of the server because guess what? Like any Secretary of State, he went ahead and conversed with with Clinton. All right, let's just go ahead. And so they get no grand juries. Mueller is going overboard, trying to ruin people's lives for no reason. And there's a grand jury for crimes that have nothing to do with Trump. This whole thing, because there's no special counsel, so you can't have this enthusiasm to prosecute. Time to investigate the investigators. Time to investigate the investigator of the investigators, Paul Sperry. Wow. Now, okay, this is good. Caution, IG Michael Horowitz and James Comey worked together in the 1990s in the U.S. Attorney Office in Manhattan. In addition, Horowitz married to former CNN and PBS producer. Okay, hold on one second. Well, they're very kind people. I just got very nice people who are saying really wonderful things on the live stream. I appreciate it very much. So in addition, Horowitz married to former CNN and PBS producer who gave money to Obama and who previously worked as a senior aide to Dukakis. I.G. Horowitz punted on McCabe political conflicts. Excused not listing his wife's Clinton-tied donations on financial disclosures, never investigated his campaign activities for wife, never subpoenaed McCabe or McAuliffe, ignored fact McAuliffe under investigation. That's all true. Terry McAuliffe was, by the way, under FBI criminal investigation for campaign donations. That just vanished, of course. Just like I don't buy Comey didn't know Uma Abedin was married to Anthony Weiner. Well, great. So Jim Jordan, he's awesome. Representative Jim Jordan. So that was Paul Sperry, but let's just go Jim Jordan. The FBI didn't want Trump to be president. Peter Strzok text says, we'll stop it. The day after the election, FBI attorney number 2 said he was stressed about what I could have done differently. Why would you be stressed about what you couldn't? I mean, he needs to be sent to Congress and testify under oath. This can't, again, this is actually a very good thing. I always said, I kept saying that they're going to use this IG report. And that's why Hillary Clinton's like, oh, but my emails. But he used a Gmail. It's the same as a private server with top secret intelligence that everyone hacked into. How do we know? Well, first of all, if you have an unencrypted server, the whole planet is going to hack into it if you're Secretary of State. But foreign actors, Fox News, foreign actors accessed Hillary Clinton emails. Documents show. This is foreign actors obtained access to some former Secretary Hillary Clinton's emails, including at least one classified as secret. Of course, according to a new memo from 2 GOP-led House committees and an internal FBI email. So this vindicated everything that you and I have been saying. You have to go, they're looking, when they look at Russia, they say, a Trump Jr. meeting, oh my God. Oh yeah, well, why did, what? Well, he met with an attorney linked to the Kremlin. Okay. Who let this attorney into the country? Loretta Lynch? Under a special visa? Okay. Why did this attorney meet before and after with Glenn Simpson's Fusion GPS? The same company that commissioned the Steele dossier that was commissioned. And by the way, why did Hillary Clinton pay $9 million funneled through, or $6 to $9 million funneled through her law firm? So the issue here is why all of this is an overt. She purchased a DNC hack conspiracy theory, and she also purchased a conspiracy of FBI agents regarding a FISA warrant. There's no evidence of anything. There's just smoke and smoke. And, oh, well, what about this? What Democrats and what people, even on YouTube and definitely on MSNBC and CNN, they view their suspicion as evidence. And they disregard evidence that doesn't fit their suspicion. So there's evidence, for example, we have to stop this. So when we go ahead and we say that, New York Times. So when the New York Times writes, top agents at FBI would stop Trump from becoming president, you don't get that, like Hillary doesn't say, oh, well, that's not, you don't get Democrats saying, well, that's a big problem. You get but my emails, and she's just okay with it. And then you get 100,000 retweets, but they don't realize, like I kept saying, like I keep saying in this live stream and like on every single segment and almost a great many of my articles that I've written, it's about how she transferred the intelligence. But here again, like who speaks like this? If you're a top FBI, Trump's never going to become president, right? Right? And then Peter Strzok, the agent overseeing, no, sweetie, no, he won't. We'll stop it. But who are these people? Who are these people that are taking it? I thought President Obama's administration was supposed to have an independent DOJ, an independent FBI. These people were supposed to be independent. And they're like, well, and then Comey, well, we didn't see anything biased with Comey. Well, what about Strzok? He overlooked everything. So, and then he said he was going to stop it. So not only do you have a text message, we can't take the risk of Trump becoming president. We have to engage in an insurance policy. But he writes, no, he won't. We'll stop it. And then when he wins, oh my God, we could have done more. The implication, Horowitz is a bureaucrat who wrote a bureaucratic document covering the behinds in a bureaucratic manner of everybody. The implication in some of these texts, not the overt meaning. So it's like, you don't need an implication. When we'll stop it, when he goes, no, he won't win, we will stop it. We will stop it does not need to be evaluated, or, you don't need to look at that and say, gosh, there's an implication there. There's not an implication. There's a direct statement with a direct meaning. But Horowitz writes, the implication in some of these texts was that Strzok might be willing, not that he did. It's not enough. It's not, we already know from the fact that he didn't even ask Hillary Clinton how she transferred the top secret intelligence onto her server. That's the thing here. That's the thing that nobody wants to talk about. I keep on bringing it back up. It's like a broken record. But just like when I was saying that Clinton would not win in 2015 for a bunch of reasons that nobody was talking about, I'm telling you, at the end of the day, this is all going to come to one question. How does she transfer the Special Access Program intelligence from JWICs, SIPRNet, SCIFs, other places within the United States intelligence community onto her server? Did they take cell phone pics? Did they plug their server some way, which is not just highly illegal, almost impossible? And that would implicate the NSA and everybody else. And in Butter Top Secret emails, I already explained, Cheryl Mills, when she wanted Hillary Clinton's BlackBerry, she wanted the same BlackBerry as Obama, but Obama didn't have a Clinton Foundation at the time, or his own foundation, and he didn't need a server outside the U.S. government. So Cheryl Mills actually met with representatives from the NSA to talk about Clinton's BlackBerry. And oh, by the way, since I'm very happy we have 1,578. If you watch this channel, there is a fantastic article in Politico. The article's below in the description section. On March 18, 2009, Hillary Clinton stopped using her long-standing email. Do you want to know what her email was? Did it say state.gov? It was an AT&T BlackBerry email. It was an AT&T email. She was sworn in late January. From late January until March 18, 2009, and then she's on Twitter. You're not talking with people who care. It's not it's Clinton. Clinton could go ahead and do anything on national television and she'd get away with it. It wouldn't even be a problem. She would totally get away with it. She'd be fine. But on March 18, 2009, Hillary Clinton stopped using her long-standing email, hr15 at AT&TBlackberry.net. That's a Politico article that I'm quoting from. She used an AT&T BlackBerry email from late March 2009. That's why the first 3 months of her emails were missing, and the 4 years of Brian Pagliano's emails are missing. So I'm letting everybody know this is like part of the charade and theater, but it's almost like Sessions is like, I'm not going to do my impression now, but I'll save it for my segments when I can actually think of like a skit or whatever. But Sessions is like, I'm waiting for Republicans to actually take it to the next step. He needs Jim Jordan and Matt Gaetz and all of them to ask how she transferred the intelligence. Nobody's asking that. That is the key. And then she switched to Clinton HROD 17 at Clinton email. These are all email addresses outside the U.S. government, obviously. But what was she doing with an AT&T account? And what was AT&T doing hosting or with an account of the Secretary of State? She was the Secretary of State. Then it's Clinton email, which is even worse than AT&T. At least AT&T is, you could say, had some kind of security. Clinton email was unencrypted for 3 months. Well, and it was also, AT&T was unencrypted in 2009 as well. But let's go ahead and let's just take a look at, by the way, after this, below in the, below, I'll go ahead and show some footage. I'll upload it on HA Second Amendment after this segment of me with my AK-47, semi-auto, 100% US made. And it was pretty cool. It was really, really cool. I had a great instructor at the rifle range this morning. Let's go ahead and Christopher Wray. All right, so 12 minutes ago, FBI Director Christopher Wray. What I am going to do is talk about the opinions that I think matter. FBI Christopher Wray has been on the job for less than a year, defended the FBI following the release of, this is a Washington Examiner article. Well, what's he going to do? I was going to say, yeah, the FBI is full of shady liars who are deceptive and who wanted their personal political opinions to cover up Clinton and then frame Trump and Flynn and everybody else. He's not going to say that. FBI Director Christopher Wray who's been on the job for less than a year, defended the FBI following the release of an Inspector General report saying actions by top officials cast a cloud over the Bureau. Disappointed, Wray said when asked his one word to describe his response to the report, later saying it has some sobering lessons. Okay, that's nice of you. Wray then refused multiple times to comment on criticisms for President Trump. There's no shortage of opinions about us here. The opinions I care most about are the opinions of the people who actually really know us. You mean like Peter Strzok and Lisa Page? They really know you. Okay, so then he's going after the president here. That's interesting. He's like, I'm not going to comment on Trump. Let's see if Trump tweeted something. How 7 words in the deep. Okay, then CNN. See, let's see. You can. How 7 words in the 500-page IG report give Donald Trump all the deep state ammo he wanted. Good. That's good because we need all the ammo we need because you know what? What are the 7 words? Oh yeah, Trump's never going to become president, right? Strzok, no, he won't. We'll stop it. Okay, yeah. What is 7 words? Is that? So the CNN's like, oh, well, there's so much more. Yeah. Those 7 words are what Trump and his allies will seize on. Yes, like Clinton would seize on those words. Clinton's blaming everyone. She would blame the Loch Ness Monster, you know, whatever, the Wolfman, anybody she could, people who exist, people who don't exist. She'd blame anyone. Let's see. Hold on, this CNN article's fine. And then they go, so this is the, Vox does this too. They address an obvious reality fact, and then they go and they forget about that. And during the press briefing, Sanders, even before, wow, Strzok and Page incompetent, then he goes, okay, that's pretty damning stuff, especially in a vacuum. What? No, not in a vacuum. It's damning in a vacuum, outside of a vacuum. You could just focus on that or focus on the entirety of it, which shows massive, massive breaches of protocol. McCabe not recusing himself until a week before the election after he received over $1 million, or his family received. And because Trump picks and chooses the pieces of news to serve his purpose, yeah, you just described CNN and the Clinton campaign and Democrats. That vacuum is how the Strzok text will be framed. How would you possibly view this in any other way than, yes, honey, don't worry, we'll stop it. And then, of course, Trump will make that story his supporters hear and believe. His supporters. He's president, so he actually has more supporters. She outspent him 2-1. Clinton won the popular vote because she outspent Trump 2-1, 1.2 billion to 600 million. Context, pshaw, yeah. He doesn't even address it. So the author here at CNN doesn't address it. He talks about it, but then he just says, and context. It doesn't explain that there's really no context to it. Trump, this is hilarious. This is hilarious. The sleazy New York Democrats. And then, of course, they're suing a foundation that took $18 million and gave to charity more than it took in. So they just decided to sue. Clinton Foundation, no problem. So it's pretty overt. You have you have like, 10 major pay-to-play schemes, Clinton Foundation weapons deals, Haiti, the uranium deal where Bill Clinton, let's just really quickly, you want to talk about meetings. You want to talk about Russian operatives. All right, let's talk about Russian operatives. All right. Who met with Putin? Who met with Putin while the uranium deal was going down? Bill Clinton, Putin, Newsweek, uranium. Let's just, okay, so Bill Clinton met Putin. This is Newsweek. Bill Clinton met Putin after asking to meet top nuclear industry official. Any problem there? Where was Mueller? Oh yeah, he was FBI director. He didn't care at that point about Russian interference because he was presiding over the sale of 20% of U.S. uranium capacity. People are like, oh my God, conspiracy! It's not a conspiracy. That's actually what happened. And cash flowed within the Clinton Foundation, and it still happened. That's a fact. That's the New York Times. But here's Newsweek. When planning a trip to Moscow for a speaking engagement in June 2010, former President Bill Clinton reportedly tried to meet with an official who was part of a Russian state-run company. He couldn't get that official. Guess who he got? Instead, Clinton ended up meeting Vladimir Putin. So that's okay? Trump Jr.? No, very bad. Very bad. Oh my God, we have all the evidence we need for something, anything. But Newsweek, instead, Clinton ended up meeting with Vladimir Putin. The deal did win approval, even though the FBI discovered that officials in Russia's nuclear industry were bribing an American uranium trucking company. That's how yellowcake uranium was shipped out of the country. Guess who was FBI director at that point? Give you a couple seconds to guess. Okay, to the 1,535 people on this live stream, who was FBI director at that point? Mueller time. Robert Mueller. You know how annoying it is to have to hear that stupid phrase, Mueller time? Mueller time means just find anyone and indict that person. It has nothing to do with Trump, but it'll sound good. And today's report was actually really, really good as a springboard. I knew it would be a springboard. We're going to go ahead. We're going to, I suggest and I urge, because I'm probably winding down right now, so it'll be the last maybe 5 minutes or so of this. But I urge everyone to watch, to read the work of Elizabeth Voss at Disobedient Media. And that is just, because she's already, Disobedient Media, Elizabeth Voss, Kenneth Whittle, there's it's wonderful. William Craddock used to be there, but they all do great work, and they actually exposed the whole Mifsud DNC hack, the professor that Papadopoulos was supposed to talk. I mean, the absurdity, the just the insane logic. It's irrational. The irrationality of all of this. A drunken conversation of a guy in his 20s with an ambassador, an Australian ambassador who was linked to the Clinton Foundation. That starts a probe. A PP dossier, if they could find a poo-poo dossier, they would. I always like do that little segment shtick on my YouTube channel. And that starts, but here we have a situation where Hillary Clinton actually bleach bit, deleted subpoenaed emails, all of these things. And the IG report actually doesn't refute anything that I've been saying, actually bolsters everything that you and I have been saying, but it should be used, and it will be used ultimately as a springboard. Let's just go ahead and see really quickly before we end this. Let's go ahead and see. So, FBI agents investigated. Okay. Which also is kind of ridiculous. Comey cited as insubordinate but not biased. How could you be insubordinate but not biased? Why? What was the reason for his insubordination? So that is the mental gymnastics there. So let's just go ahead. Agents Ray Strzok. The report does identify. So he said this. The report does identify judgment violations of or even disregard for policy and decisions at the very least were not the best choices. So that's pretty clear that somebody's going to get the axe. Strzok is not going to be there for long. He'll get fired. Let's see if you can hear this.
And we accept its findings and recommendations. It's also important, though, to note what the Inspector General did not find. This report did not find any evidence of political bias or improper considerations actually impacting the investigation under review.
Yes, it did. Yes, it did. The fact that you have a number 2 at the FBI who, so he's lying there, but whatever. But why did it? Hold on one second.
Let me briefly address.
The report does not identify error. The report does identify errors of judgment. Hold on one second.
The findings. The report does identify.
So before, the preface to this is, oh, well, you know, there's no evidence that anyone's bias led to an alternate outcome, but there is evidence. He said, don't worry, we'll stop Trump from becoming president. And oh, by the way, they sat on the Wiener laptop for what, September 29th, October, November. Then they exonerated Clinton before her interview. Comey did. So there's like a mountain of things, and then they don't even get into the fact that she transferred all this top secret intelligence, which I explained a million times. But here is, it's always bureaucracy, nothing against the law. That's the thing. I was explaining this prior to the IG report. Clinton will eventually get indicted. Eventually. The steps that need to take place are these steps. Finding out why bureaucracy was breached wasn't just an accidental, just a personality quirk. These people were breaching bureaucracy because they were engaged in criminal activity covering up Clinton's email investigation. But FBI Director Christopher Wray on DOJ IG report, the fact that nobody's talking about how Clinton transferred the information, any way she transferred the information is highly illegal and criminal. The second they talk about that is game over. But they don't want to go ahead and do that, possibly because it would completely undermine the entire intelligence community. But here, FBI does report does identify errors of judgment Why, though, did these errors of judgment occur? Violations, why did these violations occur? Or even disregard for policy and decisions at the very least? Why, and why?
Errors of judgment, violations of, or even disregard for policy, and decisions that, at the very least, with the benefit of hindsight, were not the best choices.
So they're just hiding behind bureaucracy. At the end of the day, though, political will will win out. And that's the issue here. It's about political will. It's not just about bureaucracy. They're hiding behind, they're saying, well, you know, these are institutions and these institutions failed. But why did they fail? They failed because if they actually did the right thing, that corrupt system would completely be exposed for what it is. Give me your thoughts below. I want to thank you so much for. I might go ahead and maybe do a live stream every day. I don't know. But 1,000. What? How many people now? 1,525 people. I want to thank you. If you are not subscribed to H.A. Goodman, go ahead and do so. If you happen to be interested in the Second Amendment, go ahead and do so. I have a firearms channel and a gun channel below. H.A. Second Amendment. And I abide by all YouTube policies. I just want to thank, hold on one second. Everyone who gave during the super chat, I want to thank you very much because it helps me go ahead and continue this. I'll do more live streams. I can do numerous live streams a week. I don't know. I never really, thought of doing one, but I think I'm going to start doing them more often. So look out if you're following me on Twitter. It's at H.A. Goodman Author, or on Facebook. But thank you so much. I want to thank everyone who contributed on the super chat. And if I didn't get a chance to thank you, directly, it's because I'm like looking up whatever new nonsense Christopher Wray is spewing or whatever. But it's going down, ladies and gentlemen. It's slowly going down. This is enough political will. Because even CNN can't, like when you have an FBI agent saying, we'll stop Trump, it doesn't matter what Christopher Wray says. What's he going to say? Well, they're not going to address it. It's like if they don't see it, it doesn't exist. What Trump needs to do is go ahead and say, hey, why did you go ahead? Why did you tweet that out? Why did you text that to your lover? We'll stop Trump. Give me your thoughts below. Share this live stream everywhere. Thank you so much for being on this live stream. And if you want to support this channel, H.A. Goodman, with over around 116,000 subscribers, the Patreon link is below. Thank you so much. And check out I'll upload after this some really, really cool footage of me shooting safely and responsibly my AK-47 this morning at a range outside Los Angeles. Really, really great range. Oak Tree Gun Club. It's awesome. Give me your thoughts. This is just the first inning, ladies and gentlemen. And there's 9 innings in a ball game. I was saying, and you were saying, we were saying together in 2015, I was writing in The Hill, the Huffington Post, and the Solana saying Clinton could not win. And she didn't win. And I was right. And I was saying Clinton would get indicted. But now we find out the extent of every cover-up, all the cover-up. The Russia thing, which is nonsense. I was saying it was nonsense the moment people were talking about it. Give me your thoughts below. IG report out today. It's vindication. It's complete vindication for everything that I've been saying. It's disappointing somewhat, but I knew it would be because they hide behind bureaucracy. Bureaucracy, though, will bite them in the behind very soon in a bureaucratic way. Give me your thoughts. Thank you so much for watching. Hit subscribe right now.